ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So we are seeing the glory of Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath. So it is said that in the Chandra Vamsha, there was a king. In the lineage of Pururava in Chandra Vamsha, the fifth generation, there was a king with the name Kasha. And one of the reasons why Kashi is the name of the place because Kasha was the name of the king. And so the kings after him are called Kashiraj. And in the sixth generation of that Pururava came a king called Divodasa. Now, Divodasa is one who gave the name Varanasi. So the river Varana and Asi, the confluence is there. So Varanasi. Now this king Divodas, according to Skanda Puran, Kashi Khand, he is the son of Sudeva. Kasha, Sudev, Divodas. So, this Divodas, there is a legend associated with Kashi and King Divodas. So here it is said that Bhagwan Shiva, he saw that Mother Parvati is not very happy in Kailas and she is missing her home in the Himalayas. And so he wanted to go to some Siddha Kshetra. Bhagwan wanted to go to some Siddha Kshetra. Siddha Kshetra is where one attains Siddhi, one attains realization. In some cases, Mahatmas have attained realization there. Some places Bhagwan himself is there. And so people attain Mukti because Bhagwan is there. So different reasons why a place is Siddha Kshetra. So he was looking out for some Siddha Kshetra like that. And there he came across, so he saw Kashi. See, these are different legends, okay? Yesterday what we saw, the different stories from different Puranas. This is from Skanda Puran. Yesterday what we saw is from Shiva Puran. And there are different cycles of creation in which different stories happen. It does not have to be only in one cycle of creation, everything has to happen. So we have to understand that broad picture. And so now this is another legend. So Bhagavan saw this place, Kashi, and it was very, he got attracted towards that. And so he told one of the Ganas called Nikumbha that let Kashi be emptied. I want to come and stay there. So then Nikumbha did that and ensured that everybody is moved out of Kashi. And Bhagwan started staying there. And when Bhagwan came there and he stayed, all the other devatas also came there, Nagas also came there. Now this King Divodas was very unhappy because this comes under him. He was the king and he saw that, it was his capital also. So he saw that his capital is getting depopulated and people are going away from Kashi to different other places. So he did tapasya and he pleased Brahmaji. And Divodas, when Brahmaji asked him for a boon, Divodas said that the Devatas must go to Devalok, Nagas must go to Patal Lok and the Nagalok, which is meant for them. And Kashi is for the human beings. It is on Bhuloka, it is on the earth. And so human beings must inhabit this place. And it is not good that Devatas have forcefully occupied this place and Shivji is occupied this place. So it is meant for human beings. And so Brahmaji said, Tathastu. Now, once Brahmaji said Tathastu, then Shivji, Devatas, Nagas, everybody has to leave. They go to the respective worlds. But Shivji was not happy because he loved Kashi. And so, uh, before he left, he remained in Kashi in the form of a linga and he left. Now, when he left, he went to Mandarachal mountain and his mind is still in Kashi. And so he wanted to stay also in Kashi. So what did he do? He sent 64 yoginis to Kashi, thinking that, this 64 yoginis, there are 64 uh, powers of the Devi, and they will ensure that this, the Divodas, along with all the people, goes and Bhagwan comes back there. But Divodas he's a tapasvi Raja. So he established all the 64 yoginis in Kashi. Then Bhagwan sent Surya. But the Tej of Kashi and the Pratap of that place and the Tapasya of King Divodas, Surya also, he could not do anything, and in fact he got established as 12 Adityas there. Then Brahmaji went to Kashi. Brahmaji only gave the boon. Now Brahmaji went to Kashi upon Shivji's instruction. And now what will he tell Divodas? Because he only gave the blessing that humans can inhabit Kashi once again. And Devatas again go back to their loka, etc. Now Brahmaji came. So now what will Brahmaji do? So with the help of this King Divodas, he did 10 Ashwamedha Yajnas and he also stayed there. That is a Dashashwamedh Ghat, the most famous ghat where the Aarti happens, Dashashwamedh Ghat in Kashi. So Brahmaji has done that. He did the Ashwamedha Yajnas there and he settled down. Then Bhagwan Vishnu comes there in the form of a Brahmana and he gives Upadesh to Divodas about the ephemeral nature of Srishti, about Atma, the immortal nature of the truth, and how that is our true self. And when that Atmagnan is given to him, then what happens? Divodas himself establishes a linga, invites Bhagwan Shiva there, and at the end he sits in the Viman, goes to Shivaloka. So Shivji now has come back from Mandarachal into Kashi, and it is the Krida Sthal of Bhagwan, Avimukta Kshetra, Ananda Kanan, all these are different names. And this is one story. Another story which comes here is You know the legend where Bhagwan manifests as a Shivji manifests as a column of light, Jyoti, infinite column of light. Brahmaji and Vishnu Bhagwan, they are told, you find out the beginning or the end of this, whoever finds out will be the glorious one. Because they both had a dispute, who is the greatest. So Shivji manifests. Now Brahmaji goes up as a swan and Vishnu Bhagwan goes down as a boar. Both of them keep going, but they can't find the beginning or the end, and so Vishnu Bhagwan comes back saying that I could not find the end. I concede. I concede defeat. Brahmaji says, I found the top because he found one ketki flower. Now he told lies. So when he told lies, Bhagwan Shiva cursed him that till the end of this kalpa, nobody will worship you because you are the creator. How can you tell lies? And with his hand, he chopped off one head of Brahmaji. So now that head of Brahmaji stuck to the hand of Bhagwan Shiva. There is Brahma Hatya dosha. The Brahma Hatya dosha is the most terrible sin, where a Brahmana is killed or a cow is killed, and very very difficult to do prayaschitta and even come out of it. Some of the places it is said one can't even come out of that sin. And do you know, if you go by the scripture, drinking alcohol is equated to Brahma Hatya dosha. Surapan, especially for a sadhak. So, Brahma Hatya Dosh, Bhagwan Shiva here, he has chopped off the head of Brahmaji himself. Now that head is not leaving his hand. So he goes in different places and he does not leave the hand at all. Then it is said here that finally when he comes here to Kashi, he just leaves the hand. The head drops off and this Brahmahatya dosha leaves him. And so, where this Kapala, the head of Brahmaji, dropped, it left his hand, that is Kapala Mochan Tirtha. Yesterday we saw about Manikarnika, this today is Kapal Mochan, Dashashwamegh, all these there are some legends associated. And so, this is Kapal Mochan Tirtha. And yesterday we also saw that how Bhagwan Shiva himself said to Vishnu Bhagwan that don't leave this place. So, as per some of the Puranas, it is said that Kashi was Vaishnavasthan in the beginning, and then it is a place of Bhagavan Madhava. And this whole story about Shivji and the hand of Brahmaji not leaving him, that is explained. And when this has left, so with the permission of Bhagavan Vishnu, Shivji stays there at all times. And so it is a place where Bhagwan Shiva also stays eternally, and it is Bhagwan Madhava's uh, staying place also. And so we find here that when the tears of Bhagwan Ananda Ashru have fallen, that is the Bindu Sarovar, and that's where Bhagwan is there in the form of Bindu Madhav. So if you go to Kashi, one must have darshan of Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath as well as Bindu Madhav Bhagwan. So tears of joy. Um, of Shivji, because Bhagwan Vishnu gave him the permission to stay. And so Bhagwan Bindu Madhava is there. Now it is also said Kashi is of the seven moksha puris, Kashi is one. But there is a very powerful shloka here which says, Anyani mukti kshetrani kashi prapti karani cha kashim prapya vimuchyeta nanyatha tirtha kotibhi. Yes, there are seven moksha puris, but what do the seven moksha puris do? They will give one type of mukti, no doubt, but they will also ensure that the jiva, after getting a certain level of mukti, will be born again in Kashi, and from Kashi, the jiva gets ultimately the Jivan Mukti. Why? Because in Kashi is Bhagavan Shivji who ensures that the jiva is initiated into the Tarak mantra Ram. So yesterday we saw Shivji himself becomes the guru, initiates the jiva into the Tarak mantra, which is Ram. And when the jiva gets initiated into that mantra by Bhagavan, one will awaken to the Brahma Swarupa. Ram is para Brahma Tattva only. And so it is said, the Brahma Swarup becomes illumined for that jiva, and hence it is also called Kashi. Kashate means to shine. One to whom the Brahma Swarupa shines forth, whose nature is Brahman, that knowledge reveals Brahman to that jiva. So the jiva shines in one's true nature, and that's why it is called Kashi. The various significances of Kashi. Now that story that we saw of King Divodas, someone may say that why Bhagwan has to remove everybody and why can't he stay when people are there? See, these are all different leelas of Bhagwan. And it is the glory of Kashi now that also Divodas, King Divodas, his tapasya is brought out. And because of that, Brahmaji has come, Chausat Yoginis have come, Adityas have come. So many uh, sacred beings have come. They reside in Kashi. Different forms of Bhagwan. There are so many lingas in Kashi. Um, there are different descriptions which are given even in the Veda about Kashi. Apaiva Kashina Sam Grabhitaha. Rig Veda says that Bhagavan Kashiritte. As again in Rig Veda. Yajna Kashinam Bharata Satvatamiva. Shatapata Brahmana says. So like that, different places, the glory of Kashi is mentioned even in the Vedas, and different deities are there. The whole Kashi. So if it is said in Kashi there are 59 main Shivalingas, 12 Adityas, 56 Vinayakas, 8 Bhairavas, Nava Gauri, 13 Narasimhas, 16 Keshavas, 64 Yoginis. Like that, there are different. Whole Kashi Kshetra has so many sacred places. And it is said that Bhagwan is the king. Kashi Vishwanath is the king there. The only king, real king, is Bhagwan Vishwanath. So that story is finally for that. After King Divodas, the only king of Kashi is Bhagwan Vishwanath. And so it is said here that his mantri is Hareshwar, his Kathavachak is Brahmeshwar, his Kotwal is Kalabhairav, his Dhanadhyaksha, treasurer, is Tarakeshwar, then Chobadar is Dandapani, Bhandari is Vireshwar, Adhikari is Dundiraj, and all the other Shivlingas are Prajapalaks. So this is the Mahatmya of Kashi. Now that temple specifically, we know that the Jyotirlinga which was there, now many invaders have come, they have destroyed the temple. Many people have given their lives to protect the linga, sacrificed a lot for it. So in Kashi Khanda, Kashi Rahasya, etc., these are the granthas which explain that how the Mool Jyotirlinga is how it has got invaded. Many people have sacrificed their lives, etc. And it was in a particular place, no doubt, but by time it has become Lupta, and various devotees, as per the Shastra, have at different times established the linga, invoked Bhagavan Kashi Vishwanath there. And this is the Leela of Bhagavan only, that in three yugas the linga remains as it is. In Kali Yuga it becomes Lupta. Because some people ask that why can't Bhagavan protect himself there? All kinds of false logic people apply. If Bhagavan can't protect himself there, how will he protect us? How do you know that this is not the Leela of Bhagavan? And scriptures give various reasons that this is the cycle. In this cycle, it will happen like this. uh, in Kali Yuga, it will be Lupta only. In other three yugas, Bhagavan remains as a mole Jyotirling. And so, uh, various timelines are given. See, Atha Lingam Apaniyate Kalavashat Purushaihi Lingantaram Aniyate. So, Narayana Bhatta has written in Tristhali Setu these details about how the different linga comes in Kali Yuga. The earlier linga becomes Lupta. So some historical records also are given. 1193, this Muhammad Ghori Senapati Kudupuni Naibak destroys the temple, and then there was the huge temple which was there of Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath that got destroyed. So for 400 years, Bhagwan was worshipped in small, small temples by the devotees. There was no big temple allowed there. And different times, different invaders, adharmis have come and destroyed even whatever the temples, small temples the devotees have made. So 1585, this Todarmal, Akbar's finance minister Todarmal, he it is said that Tristhali Setukar Narayan Bhatt, with help of Narayan Bhatt, this Todarmal sets up a temple in the Jnanavapi area. One nice big mandir of Bhagavan Vishwanath is established there. Then in 1669, Aurangzeb comes and destroys that temple, and that's where that mosque is today, Jnanavapi Mosque, and the case is on for that. Then 1777, meaning 110 years, the linga is in that Jnanavapi Kunda, and so people are offering water in that Jnanavapi. So there, if you see, there will be a well there in the Kashi Vishwanath, uh, or in the what we call in the temple precincts. There is a well, Jnanavapi Kuwa is there, and Nandi is facing the other side where the mosque is. That's the Prachin Nandi of those times. Uh, what was made earlier by the devotees, Todarmal and all of them. So for 110 years, the linga is inside in that place. Then 1777, the great Queen Ahalyabai Holkar, she makes the temple, the present temple where we worship Bhagwan, is made by her. And what does she do? She takes a Narmadeshwar linga, because that linga which has been put inside, people say that the pujari jumped with the linga inside. So there are different legends about it. And so the bhav of people is that the linga is there, so they keep offering water there. Even today, if you see many people who go to the mandir, they will offer water in that kuwa. Now, of course, they have sealed it, but earlier that was what they were doing. They would offer there. Ahilyabai Holkar has taken a Narmadeshwar Linga and did the Sthapana there as per the Shastra Vidhi, etc. So that is a Narmadeshwar Bana Linga that she got established. And there is a square uh, boundary, and then the Shivlinga is inside, and there is a Jalahari there, but there is no exit for that water. And that is one unique thing which is there in the mandir. Generally, the Jalahari will be such that the Abhishek, when it is done, the water will come out. And that is one reason why when the water comes out, we do Pradakshina up to one part of the Jalahari or the Yoni, and then again come back to this side. So we don't cross that part. So Pradakshina of Shivji, if Shivji is in front of us, we go like this up to the Jalahari, again come back, and again come back up to the Jalahari here. That's how the Pradakshina happens. And so in that mandir, there is no water coming out that way, and so one has to take it out separately. So that's somehow that is the pratishtha that has happened there. And in 1839, Punjab Kesari Maharaja Ranjit Singh did the whole temple. If you see on the top, the Shikhara, 22 man of gold. With that, the whole covering has been done of the Shikhara. So this Kashi temple again is a symbol, just like Somnath ji. Kashi temple also is a symbol of great resistance, lot of sacrifice, a lot of efforts to preserve, protect the culture. Now, when we say the word Lupta, Lupta has two meanings. Lupta can mean unmanifest, and Lupta also means destroyed. So in Kashi, we say Bhagwan becomes unmanifest. The linga, the physical linga specifically, may have got destroyed. But Bhagwan becomes unmanifest uh, because of that particular Jyotirlinga is not there. But the same Lord is invoked in the other lingas by the devotees, and so in time how one has worshipped Bhagwan, as one was worshipping the Jyotirlinga, in the same way one worships Bhagwan, just the Murti, the Linga is different. And so that is the meaning of Lupta. So it is, Bhagwan of course is indestructible, so he will never get destroyed, but the physical Linga gets destroyed and he becomes unmanifest in that form, in that specific form of Jyotirlinga. He is not the original Jyotirlinga, which remains then as a Vigraha, that has got Lupta. And we say Lupta because Bhagwan is Jyoti Swarupa, he remains there. He remains as a Jyoti, and if you invoke Bhagwan, he is there. But that original Linga, which was not there, and that is a part of his Leela also, that in Kali Yuga, for in different kalpas, different reasons, Bhagwan will not be there in that particular form as Jyotirlinga. So it is called Lupta. Now the idea is not that our Shraddha should become any lesser, because it is same Bhagwan who is invoked as per the scripture, as per the Veda, and once we do, the Veda mantras are such and powerful that Bhagwan manifests there. And then worship is accepted by Bhagwan, devotees are blessed by the Lord. And all this what we saw, Bhagwan loves Kashi the most and he doesn't want to leave it. All these stories are meant for us to understand this, that even though invaders have come, done whatever they have done, Kashi Vishwanath is the most sacred for us. And as we saw, all other Puris can get a certain level of mukti, salokya, sarupya, samipya, etc. But finally, they will ensure that the Jiva is born in Kashi. The Jiva gets the Upadesh. See, even that King Divodas in Kashi, he was there. Finally, how did he also get Mukti? When Vishnu Bhagwan came as Brahmana and gave him the Atmajnan. That got him Vairagya from Samsara, and then he left. He became, you know, he renounced, realized the truth, and finally, when he dropped the body, attained. Here it is said he sat in Viman, went to Shivaloka, etc. That is for common man, but Brahma Vidya, when one gets, one shines in one's true glory. So King Divodas also finally attains that self-realization. And that's one of the reasons why Kashi is called Kashi, that we saw. That Shivji initiates the Jiva into Ram Mantra and Brahma Swarup of the Jiva is revealed to the Jiva. And so Jiva comes to wake up to one's true nature, hence the word Kashi. So the Mahatmya of Kashi is no, it does not reduce, but the truth we have to know. And the scripture tells very clearly that in Kali Yuga, this is what will happen with some Leela, the specific Jyotirlinga will become Lupta. And Bhagwan will be worshipped in another Linga, in different Lingas. And so we see so many Lingas which are there, all that was described. And so many Devatas and everyone comes and they still stay there. They are there even today. So all that, the Mahima of Kashi is not any lesser. In Narad Pura, so in Skanda Puran, the Mahatmya comes. Bhumishthapi na yatra bhustri divito प्युच्चैरधस्थापिया या बद्धा भुवि मुक्तिदा स्युरमृतम यस्यामृता जन्तवः या नित्यं त्रिजगत् पवित्र तटिनी तीरे सुरैः सेव्यते सा काशी त्रिपुरारी राजनगरी पायाद पायाद जगत. So though it is on earth, it is not connected to the earth in the sense that it is not like any other city on the earth. It is divine in the all the three worlds. Though it is down, adhasthita, uchchaihi, it is still extremely elevated. It is very subtle. It is greater than even the Swargaloka. Then, though it may have a certain boundary, of a geographical boundary of some 5, 10, 20 kilometers. Now it of course is much more. Yet it will remove all the boundaries and the bondages of the jiva. It is a mokshadayini nagari. Then it is on the banks of the divine mother Bhagirathi, where many devatas they stay, and which is the Rajanagari of Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath. That's why we said Vishwanath Bhagwan is the king there. And the only true king there is Vishwanath Bhagwan. So, what does he do? He grants immortality and protects. So, even at the time of Pralay, Kashi is the one which is held on the Trishul of Bhagwan. Even in Narad Puran, it comes, that Kashi is not just most beautiful and sacred, but it is the essence of the three worlds. And when one serves in Kashi, one is born in Kashi, then what happens? One attains Sadgati. Many people who have committed a lot of sins also, when they come there, they become free. One of the reasons why it is called Avimukta is that Bhagwan does not leave Kashi, as well as the devotee who comes there or a person who has even done many sins and mistakes gets liberated from those sins, becomes a sattvic person, starts worshipping Bhagwan and attains mukti ultimately. And so, Papakshaye Virajasaha Sumana Prakashaha. That is what the Narad Puran also says. And so these are various reasons why Kashi is so important to us. It is a symbol of cultural renaissance also, cultural resistance of the invaders who came, tremendous sacrifice, a center of learning, knowledge, culture, uh, spiritual development, Sanskrit. So many beautiful things are all associated with Kashi and a very sacred place. Now, One of the things one would have, that's why I heard Kashi Maranath Muktihi. So once in the lifetime, at least one should visit Kashi, and there are people who specifically go to Kashi just to drop their body. There's one place also there. They allow you to stay there for 15 days. If you drop the body there in that much time, okay. Otherwise, one goes back to their house and where to continue to stay. They won't allow more than 15 days. The idea is what? Because the Shastra says that any jiva who drops the body there will get mukti. Now, obviously, this is not like a license to say that I can do anything, do any kind of papa karma, then go to Kashi. I will be free from the sins and I will die there, so I will get mukti. It is not a sanction to do adharma. It is not a sanction to do any papa karma and hurt and harm people. In the course of life, one would have done. Then, if one repents, one wants to drop, one wants to transform, then Kashi is a place which can be very helpful. So that's the main purpose here. Lastly, in Kashi, there is one Shakti Peeth also. So 51 Shakti Peeths which are there where the different parts of Mother Sati have fallen. In Kashi, what has fallen is the Karna Kundal of Mother Sati, and she is there in the form of Vishalakshi. So that Vishalakshi Mandir is the Shakti Peeth. And of course, Annapurna Devi is also there, and Kala Bhairava is there. So these are few places one definitely must visit when one goes to Kashi. So we worship Bhagwan Kashi Vishwanath, and may Bhagwan bless us with the knowledge of the self, and we shine in our true nature. Then this will become Kashi. When we realize Brahma Swarupa, then Bhagwan Varanasi, Vishwanath is in our own heart. This will become Kashi. So each of us is a Kashi in that sense. Any Jivan Mukta is Kashi actually, shining in one's true nature. And that self in us never leaves us. That is Kashi Vishwanath Bhagwan. Bhagwan will never leave Kashi. Symbolic meaning is that the self never leaves, and we have to become aware of that self. And that Bhagwan only becomes the Guru there, gives the Tarak Mantra, reveals the self to us. How compassionate of the Lord to do all that. So, this is the beauty and glory. Now, let's meditate.